top tips of shoulder blades, drag down. Inhale, sensing the back of the heart. Exhale, squeeze. Keep squeezing as you drag down. And then bending elbows, inhale. Exhale, squeeze bottom tips of shoulder blades, dragging down. And then just taking a moment here, feeling into the back of heart, which is often related to energetic guidance of both ourself and lineages and ancestry. And just seeing where your guidance may percolate in any shape, in any breath, in any moment. Let's do a little bit of neck work here. So just starting as if you had a pencil on your nose, if you were drawing on something in front of you. Sensing into those places that show up, letting it be information about where fight or flight or stress is lodged, using the breath to unravel the buildup, and then switching directions as you're ready. And then from here, taking the ear to the shoulder, and then a couple of options. If your neck is really tight, cradle your head so you're lessening the sensation. If you want a deeper stretch, reach up and over and see where you can lengthen the skull bones up away from the top of the spine. So rather than just the ear going down, it's a lengthening. Shoulder down, shoulder blade down on the left. And then just take a moment here, washing the breath energy, opening the relationship between brain and heart so they can work as allies more fluidly. And then from there, looking down, tip of the nose towards the right upper chest, same thing, either give yourself more support so it's less, or helping lengthen the back skull bones away from the top of the spine, or maybe trying both. Both of them actually felt quite good to me. And then from there, rolling the chin to the chest, taking it to the other side, ear to shoulder, taking the right shoulder and shoulder blade down, and then either cradling your head or reaching the arm up and over, sensing for a lengthening of the skull bones up towards the upper left-hand corner of the room. And then releasing, taking the tip of the nose towards the left upper chest. And then the same thing, you can either just stay right here or heel the hand, lessen the stretch, or coming to the back of the head, lengthening the occiput, the base skull bone away from the top of the spine. And then from there, rolling the chin to the chest, tracing along the collarbones, side to side. And then from there, heel the hand to the forehead, massaging into the brow point. Putting your head back up. And then from there, taking a pause, taking a feeling breath here. We'll do one more thing in this, and then we'll move on to some lower body stuff. Right hand at shoulder height, left hand on top. Press the arms together. Keep the ribs lifted away from the top crest of the pelvis, and then move the arms to the right and then back to center. Keep going there. And then release. Arms come down. They're on their way out the door, just in case you're wondering. I'm wondering. Right arm, left arm up, right arm on top. Press the arms together. Moving the arms to the left and then back to center. And then letting the arms come down and take a look over your shoulder, side to side a few times, sensing this axial rotation. And then from there, taking a feeling breath. And then from there, let's come to a seat. So you can either sit right on your mat or up on a block or a prop of any kind. And we'll come into a seated twist. So grounding down through the sit bones. And you can rock a bit back and forth so you really feel like you're plugging the sit bones into the earth. Lift the ribs so you're sensing the space between top crest of hips and low ribs. And then coming to your very first edge. A lot of times with twisting, we have this idea in our head of pictures we've seen. So just coming to your very first edge with your twist. For today, keep the chin over the sternum so you can really focus on embodying that space between top crest of hips and low ribs. Shoulders down, sternum up. And then sensing, can you spread through the toes in a way that helps you relax the skull bones more? Stabilizing. And then continue to see how you can breathe for yourself. And then coming back to center, using your core to switch the cross of the legs. Inhale, telescoping ribs. Exhale. As you come to your twist, come to your very first edge, pausing there. See if you can get a sense of lifting the pubic bone, lifting the ribs, shoulders down, sternum and chin aligned. And then come on back to center. Let's come into a seated side bend, one leg straight. Straighten out through the right leg. Hold on to the thigh and then traction the thigh, teasing out some space, spreading through the toes. And then from there, taking the right hand out by the hip, grab onto the ground a little bit. See if you can get a sense of the shoulder. Take some warm-ups there, moving the shoulder down. Flip the palm to the ceiling. Inhale, telescope ribs, reaching up. So we're gonna wrap the shoulder blade. So if you can spin the pinky finger and just get a sense of the shoulder blade moving towards the armpit. You may or may not sense that. And then just notice if you can open the chest towards the ceiling a bit more, like you're leaning up against the wall. We'll do some shoulder flexing here. Taking the arm over and down. Hand could either hover like so, or arm behind the back. Lifting ribs, flip the palm, reach. Taking the ear to the shoulder. If it feels better, you could also look down towards the right knee. And then from there, either keep the hand in neck release or hand behind the back. Lift the ribs, broaden across the front plane of the chest, and then this time look down, take the chin back. Wet the lips enough that you can slide the lips like you're rubbing in lip balm. Let the jaw go a little more. And then put your head back up, massaging into your brow point. Head comes up. And then we'll take that to the other side. Holding onto the thigh, tractioning the hip a bit, spreading through the toes, waking up the power in that leg, which may help you stabilize and soften the tight spots in the upper body. Grab onto the ground to wake up this whole shoulder girdle line to the arm and hand, flipping the palm to the ceiling, lifting ribs, wrapping shoulder blade, and then just play with that opening of the chest, keeping the front ribs knitted in. So just play with where is your sweet spot there so you feel into the side body. Flip the palm, sensing the air around your arm as you move the arm over and down. Maybe it comes behind the back. Maybe it stays in neck release. And then just sensing these nourishing movements. In this way that the practice asks us to flow, and it asks us to stay, and how we need to do both. And many of us have a tendency to lean towards one or the other, wanting to keep moving or wanting to keep still. And then hovering the hand or bringing arm behind the back, lift chest, broaden across the front line, looking down, tucking the chin back. And you could repeat that jaw release if you find it interesting. play with improvised jaw release, face release. Heel of the hand to the forehead. Put your head back up. And then taking a moment here, keep all of that, whatever opened up there going, and we'll come into either knee pile or half knee pile. So stacking the knees, it would be left leg under, right leg over, sitting in a way that both hips are grounded, bringing the knees towards stacking. Another option is keeping one leg straight, half knee pile. So see what's better for your hips, and then give yourself a hug, left arm under. Get a hold of your shoulder blades and manually move the shoulder blades away from each other. Broadening upper back, and then send the elbows forward so you're opening up shoulders. You could stay here or come into wrapping at the wrists into full eagle arms. Tucking chin, keep breathing. Spread through the hands, whichever shape you've chosen. Spread through the toes, whichever shape you've chosen. And then bring the torso tall, unwind the arms, stretch across the front line, and we'll take that to the other side. So coming through Dandasana, staff pose, use this transition well, stretching the legs, and then from there you can either keep the right leg straight or bend both knees, so either half knee pile or knee pile. From there, give yourself a hug, right arm under, right arm over, sorry about that. Broadening upper back. And then either staying right here or wrapping into eagle arms. Send the elbow tips forward so you're making space in the shoulder joint. And then again, playing with what helps you to release the skull bones and the jaw in this shape. Breathing into the guidance available in every shape by coming into present time. And then from there, unfurl the arm bind, open across the chest, unwind the legs, and we'll come back to Dandasana. So you can always sit on something. If you're rounding in the spine here, you can create a lift. And from here, let's do a little bit of unlocking the shoulders. So elbows come up right at shoulder height. Spread through the hands, inhale. Exhale, shoulders and shoulder blades down, elbow tips move slightly forward. Keep spreading through the toes, feel how you're working the lower body connection and stabilization as you're also doing the other stuff. And then from here, keep the elbows where they are. Open the forearms like so, so it's sort of going towards a V shape. So we're targeting serratus anterior, this muscle in the outer shoulder blade area. Keep breathing. Let the hands come back together, hands come down. And then from here, let's come on down to the back. So coming into half Shavasana, feet underneath knees, outer edges of the feet parallel. Placing the hands on the torso or next to the torso to help you keep coming back to what our intent is today, being with your guide. So your body is one of the primary sources of guidance here. Having a conversation with your body, with your breath as the language. Being as rigorously honest with yourself about what is going on right now, moment to moment. And then begin to direct the breath into the back bottom ribs. So you're massaging open kidneys and adrenals there. Placing the hands onto the side ribs. Breathing into back bottom ribs, noticing any sticky places at that band along the back bottom ribs into side ribs. And then sweeping the breath from back bottom ribs down into pelvic floor. Letting the front ribs knit in and move down towards the top crest of hips. And so we'll do some simple TVA activation here. So inhale, broadening back ribs and side ribs. Exhale, press the right foot into the floor, pick the left knee up over the hip, pull the low belly down. Knitting front ribs in and down. Place the left foot down. Inhale, broadening back ribs and side ribs. Exhale, pick the right knee up over the hip, engaging low abs. And then keep going here at your own pace. Seeing how, similar to working with the shoulder flossing, how the fluid quality of doing it this way might serve as a nervous system unwind. Flowing sort of like you're going for a walk while being on your back here. Feet active, hips staying as square as possible. Getting as specific as possible with your basic moves. Expanding ribs, relaxed neck, feet active, deep breathing. And then from here, let's come into elbow to knee. So option, you can either work with legs straight up. If you have any tightness, you can bend the knees. Just keep the knees over the hips, whichever variation you choose. Spread through your active feet. Interlace your hands in your non-habitual way behind the base of the skull bones. Shoulders down, elbow tips reach up. Pick the head and chest up and then relax the head into the hands. Inhale, broaden into your back ribs and side ribs. Curl the tailbone up, and then on exhale, both elbows reach towards the right thigh. So it's not a big twist, it's a small twist. If you can get up off that right shoulder, great. Pull the low belly down. Inhale, coming back to center. Hold, curl the tailbone up. On exhale, both elbows reach to the left, pulling low belly down. Inhale, coming back to center. Curl the tailbone up, and then on exhale, both elbows reach to the right, pulling low belly down. Inhale, coming back to center, broadening back and side ribs, curl the tailbone up, and then on exhale, both elbows reach to the left, pulling low belly down. Inhale to center. Curl the pubic bone, knees reach straight up to the ceiling, and then on exhale, both elbows reach right, low belly pulls down. Inhale to center. Curl the tailbone up, exhaling, elbows reach left, low belly pulls in. Inhale to center. Curl the tailbone up, on exhale, both elbows reach right, spread through the toes, reach up through the legs, low belly pulls down. Last side here. Inhale to center. Curl tailbone up, exhale, elbows reach left, low belly pulls up. And then come back to center. Feet come down, relaxing arms. And then just feel the way the breath pathways open up here. Letting the energy move. And then we'll come into straddle lifting through. So legs reach straight up again. And again, it's fine to bend the knees, keeping knees over hips. And then wherever you're warmed up enough, come into your straddle. Could be small, could be big, whatever works. Reach through inner legs and outer legs. Reach through the heels, and then interlace the hands behind the head, shoulders down, elbow tips reach up. Pick head and chest up, and then relax head into hands. Inhale here, broadening back ribs and side ribs, and then on exhale, curl pubic bone towards navel, elbows reach up to the ceiling, pull the low belly down. Coming down just a couple inches, inhale here, broadening back ribs and side ribs. Exhale, curl pubic bone, elbows reach up, unlocking the shoulders, make space, low belly pulls in. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, curl pubic bone, elbows reach up, low belly pulls in, reach out through the inner thighs and the outer thighs. And then we'll do the last one here. Head and chest comes down a bit, inhale. Exhale, curl pubic bone, elbows reach up, keep reaching out through the thighs, low belly pulls in. Head and chest comes down. Help the legs together using this transition therapeutically. And then take a few more times of that. Bringing the legs into straddle on inhale. Keep the back ribs rooted. Exhale, bring the legs either hips width distance or together. Do a few of those, studying the architecture of back bottom ribs, sweeping the breath into pelvic floor. And then bring the feet down, taking a few breaths here. And then today we're going to come into a flowing bridge. So I've been offering the options of feet underneath knees. If it gives you more space, you could walk the feet forward a bit. Outer edges of the feet parallel. And we'll really focus into those hamstring connectors into sit bone muscles and low glutes, as we always do. Inhale, broadening back ribs. Exhale, lifting the hips, sending thigh bones forward. And then let the spine come down, feeling into as much information you can about the back body, the lunar body, where so much guidance comes from spiritually, physically. And then again, using a fluid variation of this set of actions of Setu Bandhasana to find out what you can about your spine, about your back. Pressing the ground away. Get curious about where you're using your feet, where the feet might be a little sleepy. And then when you're ready, stay up, and we'll do a round of Uddiyana from bridge. So relaxing internally. If you like, you could touch the sides of the ribs, fill all the way up. And then exhale everything out as smoothly as possible. Keep the breath out, pull the belly back, lower down out of your pose. And then completely relax the core, breathing into belly, breathing into wherever you can make space. And then from here, neck stays relaxed, roll on to one side, come up to tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, press the ground away, lengthen back through the big toes. So we're gonna do the neck and core work that we did together last week. I've been working with this and finding a lot of cool stuff. So what it is inhaling across this band of the back bottom ribs, and then on exhale, sit the hips back towards the heels, take the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale, coming back to table. Exhale, sit bones, sit back, taking right ear to right shoulder. And then Martha, you can switch this to any plane where you're not putting pressure on the wrist. I'll keep thinking of options that I can, but changing the plane, the gravity, I think is going to be the best bet. We'll keep finding this fluid variation here. Sensing the relationship between low ribs and top hip point in the front body, low ribs and top hip point in the back body. And then come back to tabletop. Plant the left foot, curl the toes under, and then circling around the ankle, waking up the ankle and the foot. Taking any movements there that feel like they wake up the leg. And then press into the top of the right shin as you lift the left leg, kicking into your imaginary wall. Roll the right inner thigh towards the ceiling, contract the sit bone muscles, and then reach your right arm forward. Spin the thumb to the ceiling, and you could bring palm facing down. Do that a few times to juice up the shoulder. And then from there, bending into the knee. Maybe you work right here, and it's a strengthening move. Or maybe you take it into a quad stretch, holding on to the top of the foot, pressing foot into hand and vice versa. Releasing the limbs, straightening them, taking that to the other side. With a lot of focus, kick back, move the thigh bone away from the hip. So you're using the transitions well and hopefully therapeutically. Circling the ankle. And then press into the top of the left foot to lift the right leg. Keep pressing the ground away evenly with both hands. Particularly feel the inner arm line by rooting base of index finger and thumb. Bending into the knee, kicking to the ceiling to wake up the low glute and hamstring area, palm forward, wrap shoulder blade. And then you can either work a strength move or work into a quad stretch. Pressing foot into hand and hand into foot. Check out the hip points, squaring the hips. And then reaching limbs forward and back, hands come down. Next pose is flash prep. So elbows come down. And we're going to come into half dolphin, half chaturanga. So right hand underneath the shoulder. Walk the right hand back either 4 to 6 inches or to a 90-degree angle. Relax the neck. Move the right shoulder and shoulder blade away from the ear. And then curling the toes under, begin to lift the hips up and back. I would say if it feels okay, Martha, maybe working with making the shape of a dolphin arc, so you're working the lats and serratus without straining the wrist in any way. If it's interesting, you could lift the right leg. And then lower knees down. We'll take that to the other side. From tabletop, right arm comes down into dolphin. Plant the inner wrist down. Start with the left hand underneath the shoulder and then walk it back either 4 to 6 inches or to a 90-degree angle. Move the right shoulder and shoulder blade away from the ear. Head is heavy. Look towards your navel. Let the head hang. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips. Or you can work this knees down. Press the ground away with every body part that's making connection with the earth, feeling for that reciprocity of giving energy, receiving energy. Feel how the tissues respond. Letting that breath be a conversation with your body, your honest body relationship. Lifting the left leg if that's interesting to you. And then gently placing knees down, sitting back into embryo, knees wide, big toes together, perhaps placing a block under your head. Arms relaxing, broadening the upper back, sensing the energy of each shape as guidance. Where can you use more of this quality of embryo pose in your nervous system, in your life? Coming back through tabletop, let's come into down dog. So from tabletop, hands come forward, shoulders away from the ears, spin the eye, the elbow forward, press the ground away, and then play with it as you're coming into your down dog as if it were your first down dog you ever took. Walk feet to hands, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Feet at hips width distance. Hands could be on blocks. Hands could hold inner elbows. If you have neck tightness, one of my favorite poses, interlacing hands so that the pinky edge of the hands comes to the base of skull bones. Looking towards the navel, letting the head hang. And then from there, taking the L shape that makes the thumb and the index finger, pressing into the head of the femurs, the thigh bones, engaging low abs, and then come on up. Activate your feet as you come up. And we'll come into some combination of classical suns with some other fun and games here. So feet at hips width distance. Front hip point and back hip point even. Feel for lifting the ribs, bringing the hands to touch. And then from there, sweeping up, lift the ribs first, and then open the front body. Exhale, soft knees, hinge from the hips so you're protecting the low back. Inhale, left leg steps back. If you need more padding, fold the mat or grab one of your props. Press the ground away and then sweeping up. Staying in contact with the back body here. Wrapping shoulder blades. And then from here, we're going to come right into a crescent twist. So at this point, keep the knee over the ankle, curl the toes under. This is where a block might come in handy. Lift the back knee and find your kick, like you're kicking into a wall. Inhale, lengthen hard forward. And then exhale, opening the chest to the left. Bring the back of the head towards the upper left-hand corner of the mat. If that right hip wings out, tuck it back in. And then reach in both directions here. Sensing that right shoulder blade moving towards the ceiling, so you're opening the back of heart. And then from there, lowering the arm down, stepping yourself back into plank. And you can do plank with knees up or knees down. So you can do, I'm gonna model modified chaturanga, knees down, belly engaged, low belly especially, lowering down with control. Elbows come next to ribs. Lift each leg, reach the leg back, roll the inner thigh to the ceiling, and we'll do some shoulder shrugs here. Lift the legs, lift the shoulders, hover the hands next to the shoulders. Inhale, broaden upper back. Exhale, squeeze shoulders, shoulder blades, elbow tips, reach through the legs. Inhale, broaden upper back. Exhale, squeeze shoulders, shoulder blades, and elbow tips. Inhale, broaden upper back. Exhale, squeeze shoulders, shoulder blades and elbow tips, reach through the legs, and then lowering down. Come into crocodile. Either place the forearms down and the head down, or stack the hands. And then use this pose to sense the space between the top press of hip and the low ribs, inhabiting this place of guidance. Your very intelligent gut, your power center. Hands under shoulders, shoulders away from ears. Press back and come into down dog. Direct your breath into that area, back, bottom ribs, nourishing kidneys, nourishing adrenals. And then from here, let's come into lunge. Left leg comes forward, knee down. Pad the knee if you need extra padding. If the hip is winging out, tuck it down. You can use your hands to see, where are my hips in space? Press the ground away, sweeping up. Wrap shoulder blades, relax neck, and you can play with the arm position. What actually gives you some ease in the neck and shoulders. Bend elbows, widen arms, play with it. And then from there, maybe you're grabbing a block or a prop. Curl toes under, strong leg. Hug muscle to bone, that back leg, kick through the leg. Line up the glutes, on the, especially on that right leg. Lengthen first, and then sense, can you keep the hips as square as possible? Rotate chest, back of the head towards the upper right-hand corner of the mat. So you're getting out of rounding in the thoracic spine, and then reach from the center of the heart. So pranavayu, this place where we take prana right into the heart and express it through the way we push prana through the limbs, right? Feeling your whole body and the guidance of what does this twist have to offer you. Lowering the lifted arm, hopping in one step or 45 steps to the top of the mat, rolling up, engage the low belly, and then lift your ribs, tailbone down, sternum up, opening into the front body here, hands come back up. Let's flow right into the next round, sweeping up. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, right leg comes back into lunge this time. Similar option here, working into the lunge, letting it be just like this. If you have further to go, bending into the knee, it could be a strength move, just working that heel towards butt line, contracting the low glutes. Or you could take it into lunge, heel to the butt, working the heel towards the sit bone. You could reach the arms up and lift the ribs, or reach the left arm up and lift the ribs. And then from there, gently release the foot. And we're going to revisit our twist here, rebend or re-straighten the leg, telescope ribs, lengthen, and then open chest, reach up. This time, take the upper arm a little bit away from the head and then back a bit so you get into the chest a bit differently. Again, if that left hip is winging up, tuck it back. And just feel into how this arm position is getting into the front of the shoulder a bit differently. I'm going to come right into warrior two here. Bring the arm back in line with the torso and then down. Plant the right heel down and then bringing yourself up. Stack ribs right over hips. Reach through both arms and then check in with your neck. Does it feel more interesting to look forward to the left index finger or look to the side? Just notice where the ribs are in space. Can you stack the ribs? Can you soften the front ribs in and down? Can you check out your head? Is it right over the ribs? Let's do some kite hop. Inhale, palms up, shoulders down, shoulder blades down, open the front of the chest. Exhale, roll the arms forward, slide the shoulders up. You can let the upper back round a bit. And then play with this in a fluid way. Kick through both heels like you're trying to dent the yoga mat. Stay grounded into the back body. And then when you're ready, palms up, shoulders down. Let the arms come down, and we'll come into head to ankle prep. Give the arms a shake. Coming into, pressing into the top crest of the hips, lifting the ribs, coming forward. This is where a block is very handy. Moving the block to the right, opening into the inner thigh, pressing down and away on the inner thigh, moving the ribs towards the right. And then from here, stay low. Bring both hands under shoulders. We're going to take this vignette right to the other side. So coming into lunge with the left leg forward. And due to a gap in thinking, I'm going to have to ask you to switch your legs. So we're doing this on the other side now. Coming into lunge with the right leg forward, low lunge. And then from there, study what starts to show up in the quads when you come into your lunge. Checking in with your knee. Do you need more padding? Maybe you're working here. Maybe you're coming into the glute strengthener, picking the back foot up, getting ahead of the kneecap. If you're not on the kneecap, maybe you're working into the quad stretch, getting a hold of the top of the foot, working the heel in towards the sit bone. Maybe you're reaching the arm up to help you keep the shoulder blade wrapped and keep telescoping the ribs, chest up. Taking any kind of exhales through the mouth as this gets into stuff. When you are ready, releasing the foot if you have it, shifting into your lunge with the leg straight, reach like you're kicking into that leg. And then from there, coming into your twist, taking the left hand onto your prop, reaching the right arm up, tucking the hip down and under, lengthening ribs away from pelvis. Take the upper arm a bit away from the head and then opening into the front of shoulder and chest a bit differently here. Keep kicking through that back leg, lower the lifted arm, transitioning into warrior two. Spinning the back heel down. Come on up, feeling into the very specific energy of warrior two. See where you want to put your gaze. And then we'll come into walking through basic moves. Feet active, tailbone down, pubic bone lifting, ribs telescoping, shoulders relax, neck relax. Kite hawk, inhale, palms up, shoulders down. At this point, look forward. Exhale, roll the arms forward, slide the shoulders up, let the chest round. Sensing a hinging of the chest. Close and then open. And then when you're at palms up, shoulders down, let the arms come down. Hold on to the top crest of the hips, sensing where the front hip point and the back hip point are, evening them out. Keep pressing down to create some resistance to then rise up, lifting ribs. Coming forward, taking the hand to the inner thigh, close up to the hip point. You can place the left hand on a block or on the floor, or bring your forearm onto the straightened leg, perhaps as an adaptation, moving the arms to the left any amount. Take a big breath in, soaking the prana into the right hip, pressing down and away on the inner thigh, moving the ribs to the left. So the torso is in lateral flexion here. It's an unusual pose. And then from here, stay low, walk your hands inside the front foot, and then shift back, plank. We'll come through one final vinyasa here. So you decide, knees up or knees down, lower down to the belly. Reach back through your legs, and we'll do boat with hands on sit bones. So either with one or both hands. Reach through your legs and use your fingers to study the architecture of this really important area where the sit bones are and the muscles around them. Lift the chest, tweeze the elbow tips towards each other, lift the legs. Keep rolling the inner thighs to the ceiling, keep reaching powerfully through the legs. Gaze to the mat. Crown of the head reaching forward, lengthening the spine in both directions. And then again, lowering down. Come into your crocodile, relax the belly. And then in your crocodile, coming into the variation where the forearms are down and the hands are down. And then from here, bringing the left hand by the torso, we'll come into a Shalambhasana variation. Look to the left, bring the back of the right hand to the right cheek. And then from there, lift the upper back, press the face into the hand and vice versa. Let that go. We'll take it to the other side. Press into the right hand. Take the back of the left hand to the left cheek and then lift the upper back. Press face into hand and hand into face. Then you could do that without using your arm as well. And we'll do that one more time on each side. Left palm presses into the ground, legs stay solidly pressing into the ground. Look to the left, back of the hand to the cheek, pressing. See what shows up in the shoulder blade and the neck. Other side, look to the right, left hand to the face. Press face into hand and hand into face. And release, take a moment again, letting yourself absorb and check in. And then from here, coming back into a down dog, press the ground away, feeling into playing with this pose. And let's do a three-legged dog. Lift the left leg as you bend the knee, circling the hip. Adapting that to using the wall or a chair. And then taking that on the other side, coming back to this L shape in any relationship to gravity. Lifting the right leg, bending the knee, feeling into how does that hip want to move. And then from there, lengthening the leg as you lower down, finding your way onto your back. And then once you're on your back, let's do a twist. So feet underneath the knees, pick the hips up. Shift the hips about 3 inches to the right. Knees come towards chest. And then on exhale, lower the lower body to the left. Let the right arm come out with the palm up and bring it to an object if you need support there. Take the whole left hand, resting it somewhere on the right torso. And keep coming back to this physical guidance of the body. When we are embodied, we are so much more available for the grace of all of the other guidance that's available to us. Continue to use your breath to let your particular circle of guidance know that you're available. When you're ready, lower body comes back to center, shift the hips to center, and then take the hips about 3 inches to the left, knees to chest, and then on exhale, lower body comes down to the right, left arm comes out, palm up, so you're opening the front of the shoulder, taking the right hand somewhere to the left torso. And then shifting the right hand to your heart so you can actually factually feel your beating heart. And in the system of yoga and also neuroscience now, there is this understanding of the intelligence of the heart as the true intelligence. And letting yourself appreciate and receive the light of your own heart. And staying with this connection, unwinding your twist. The next pose is Shavasana, so lowering down all the way onto your back or whatever shape you want to take your final relaxation in, setting up the most nourishing shape to rest and digest. Feeling into the actual design of a yoga class and the guidance that it gives us for our lives of actually prioritizing building in time to rest and digest. Begin to bring your attention to your body in this horizontal shape of Shavasana. finding some way to appreciate and acknowledge all of the places where you are guided and held in your life. Including your body in that circle of support and appreciation. Continuing to breathe for yourself, taking yourself onto one side. And then pressing into the ground, feeling all the way through the transition from a horizontal axis to a vertical one. Keeping some quality of your Shavasana support with you for the whole day. And if you like, bringing the hands to touch to seal our time together, sensing the circle of guidance and support that we have in this community, uptaking that. Namaste. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Karuna.
My pleasure. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
April.
Thanks, Karuna. Thank you.
Thanks, Martha. How did it go?
I was amazed at how much I could adapt.
Okay.
It was totally worthwhile. They gave me this gigantic square. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like a costume. That's amazing.
And it's to help you when you're sleeping, keep upright. But what I used it is every time I needed balance, I would just do this.
Wow.
So that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So do you record these classes?
Yes, we're making a YouTube channel, as many of us in our crowd. Tech is not our strong suit, but we're catching up or doing our own version. So if you email the info we can send any of these recordings on YouTube.
Oh, because this one would definitely be one I could do.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll definitely get that to you.
Okay, so I should email it to you and Christine?
Either way, we check the info all day. So if you send it there, we'll make sure one of us gets it to you.
Okay.
So good to see you.
Yeah.
And you, my friend, it's our first reunion of many.
Yes.
Right. Bye, Karuna.
Hi, Martha.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Good luck with your arm.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yeah. So the cat put you on mute twice. She walked up on the thing and I was like, oh my God. And it took me like, come here, Tay-Tay, it's current. She was confused. She's not amused.
Yes, this is turning everyone. There is my girl. Hi.
Monkey. It's Karuna.
He's on her window spot. Good idea. Oh my gosh.
That was fabulous.
Oh, good.
That was fabulous. I think I'm going to get through this epidemic if I can do that. And Shelly is fabulous.
Yeah, I am so thrilled. I've been wanting to reach out to her, so that prompted me. I reached out to her to get her email because I only had her cell phone for some reason.
Right.
I love her. She's not from this city, and she's just so refreshing and so friendly and so generous. I love her.
And you and she are the only people who know how to speak and enunciate your words. I'm like done with yoga teachers who will not respect that you can't do it if you can't hear it.
Yeah, it's really an accessibility piece, and it's crazy. And people are trying to go on Zoom and teach with music just like they do in studios. I'm like,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible in the studio. So you're doing well?
We are. We just came back yesterday. I don't know if I even told you. We've been in
nothing.
the cave. We went to the cave for 2 months.
Perfect.